You're my girl, so young when we had conquered the world. There ain't a thing that I couldn't do when you're with me and I'm next to you. In this joy-filled friendship, every season of this life. Joy-filled friendship, with you by my side.
Secure. That's fine. But the subtle things that we know as women, because we're perceptive that way, our guys don't realize it, and it means that we need to take them out of that situation, because that girl who's doing it, that's just her. That's just what she's gonna do. And
she knows what she's doing.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah,
she knows what she's doing. And so no, not in the environment where my husband's there and he's still gonna continue to be himself. He's still gonna help her, not realizing it. And then she can think that he likes her because he hasn't responded.
And that's a good point. And parlaying that into, okay, well, what if we're not married yet and it's my boyfriend? Then I'd say then there's some actually kind of flexibility in there a bit. Only because it's a boyfriend, and it's a boyfriend we're going to address it two different ways. We're going to address it, it's my boyfriend, and then we're going to address it, it's my boyfriend, and we have been talking about our future together. And let's talk about just a boyfriend before. How would you handle that one?
I think, well, it depends, because you can have a boyfriend for a couple years, and you have established yourself, and he loves you, and you love him, and eventually, you guys are planning eventually to get married or something like that. But sometimes people have boyfriends for 10 years. So I don't know, from my perspective, if it was my boyfriend, I would still do the same thing. Because if it was my boyfriend, dang, when I sometimes have a boyfriend, there's a lot of times I have a boyfriend.
Right.
But a lot of times, like Rich, when we were dating, because we dated for 3 years before we got married, just so you guys know. So during that dating time, women were flirting with him at different times. And I'm like, sweetheart, she flirting with you? He's like, she is. I'm like, I'll do that, sweetheart, just so you know she's flirting with you. It could be a waitress. And I'll say, so make sure she give you some extra so-and-so. We laugh about it. And he was like, you will laugh about it if it's like a waitress kind of thing. But what I was doing, I try to make him aware of, this is how women subtly flirt with you. So now he still ain't there. He's not there. But once in a while, he'll say, was she flirting? I'm like, yes, she was flirting. So he's picking up more, because the thing is, when they don't pick up, like in a situation, let's say, the friend is over and we're watching a game and he don't pick up on it, the friend would think that he doesn't mind it. That's the thing.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep, yeah, you're right.
Right.
You're right.
So she'll think, he doesn't mind. So she's going to keep doing it. He's not paying her no attention, but she's thinking he doesn't mind. So that's a disconnect for your friend, for whatever this woman in your, in your life.
Yeah.
So you just have to be careful. So again, boyfriends, I'm not going to, boyfriends are very important in your life, and you got to start at the boyfriend level. So if it's someone you just been dating like a couple of months, that's different. But once you get into years, years with this guy in your life, to me, becomes a really serious relationship. And your girlfriend knows that's your boyfriend, and she should know, don't flirt with him. He's off limits. He's my boyfriend. I introduce you guys because I want you to know that this is my boyfriend. Then she should not flirt with him. Period. And there also is a girl code, right? This is my boyfriend.
Yeah.
So what if he's handsome or whatever? Don't flirt with him because you're my friend. This is my boyfriend. You don't flirt with my boyfriend. That's so once she breaches that code, I wouldn't want to have her in my life when it comes to that kind of thing, because that's something very, very, very important. The girl code, right? Because there's a code. And I remember even when I was like in college and me and my girlfriends would go to clubs and stuff, the unspoken code was, if I say, oh, that guy is cute, before he even talks to me, then none of us would talk to that guy. And none of them would talk to that guy because I said it. So if he came over and tried to talk to one of my other friends and not me, first of all, I feel like, dang, what about me? But then But then I'm like, some of my girlfriends, they wouldn't talk to him because I said he was cute, even if they think he was cute too. But that was what that I thought that was really good because that's kind of like the girl code, even though we have no relationship. So once you have a relationship, that code means everything. It's like it's trust, it's respect, it's respect. Respect me and respect my husband. So respect my boyfriend. This guy likes me. You know, the only reason why you're here is because you're part of my life and I'm introducing you to my guy. And because he's my guy and you're my friend, I figure the three of us can be together at some point and hang out. But you're giving him the eye or you're being flirtatious, that's a turnoff. So, Millicent, there is a huge difference if it's a husband or a fiance, because fiance is going into husband. But I don't want to dismiss boyfriends because that's where it starts, right? Boyfriends is it's got to be a boyfriend before you the next thing and the next thing. So I would say if you're a boyfriend, you have a strong relationship, like my daughter and her boyfriend, 2.5 years, that's strong. And if her girlfriend tried to interfere with that or try to flirt, now her reaction may be a little different, but try to flirt, it's not nice. It's not nice. So I don't know if there's really that much flexibility unless it's just a couple of months of being a boyfriend, something like that, or being in a relationship. But what do you think, Nelson?
I think with regard to, let's talk about a couple of months.
Okay.
A couple of months.
Okay.
Even in the club. Oh, he's cute. Okay. This brings out the trust. And again, if you can't trust your friend, then whether or not that person really should be in your life, you see, there is a girl code. Oh, he's cute. And then all of a sudden I look up and you're talking to him. What about me? You heard what I said. I liked him. So then at that point, you have to ask yourself whether or not this is a friend that should be in my life for the long term. Because you are going to move from one stage to the next stage. You're moving from stages to stages, and then now you're moving into the relationship, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, or whatever the case may be. Now you're moving into that stage. Whether or not the friend could be a friend to you during that time. And that's the key thing there, trust. Whether or not I could trust you in that area.
Right.
And it starts right there with the girl code.
Right.
I don't have a relationship with him, but you heard what I said.
Right.
So why are you going to go over there and start talking to him? Unless it was like when we were in college, when you would talk to them for me. I'm going to sidebar and tell you just this for a minute here. Arlen did. There was, I don't know whether or not you could call it shy or timid or whatever, but there were in college, I'll say just period college. College, Arlen would go over and talk to the guy for me. Now that's different. If the girl is going over there because you're too shy or timid to talk to the guy and she's trying to set it up so she could get him over to talk to you, different situation. Way different situation. But if she's going over there talking for herself, and I just said I liked him, then we have a question of whether or not we are, really compatible for the next stage in my life and the next stage of our lives as friendships.
Right.
So I even look at that for even if it's a boyfriend for a month and you come over and I've only dated the guy for a month, I'm still thinking I can trust you at that point.
Absolutely.
So it's really on the short term as well. And it starts with the girl code.
Yeah.
It does. That's with, when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It really starts with the girl code. And then that's when it determines whether or not that friend will be the friend that you will have now for the next stage of your life, which is having your husband. Because this person that I'm looking at I'm going to at least be in a relationship with him, and whether or not it moves to marriage through that whole entire latter part of your life, whether or not that person will, be a part of it. And that's the one thing. That's when you can determine the trust again.
Exactly.
Because a person that has morals and integrity, they're not going to, go up to who you like and say a couple of things on behalf of themselves. They're just not going to do it.
Right.
Because you guys have that trustworthy relationship.
Yeah. And I'm going to give an example. Even like the girl code is so important that one time, one of my friends, my Duffy, we were in Miami and we went out to this club. And as soon as we walked in, it was this guy who she liked, which wasn't my type at all. So we're sitting down. So the waitress comes over and she tells me, this guy wants to buy me a drink. And I'm like, who? And she pointed out the guy that she liked. And I said, I don't want the drink. I said, no, thank you. Because my girlfriend said, why you don't want? I said, because I didn't want to tell her. I just said, I just don't want the drink. Then the guy came over and I'm like, oh my gosh, don't say you like me because my girlfriend liked you. So the guy came over and he was like, I just want to buy you a drink. I said, you can buy us both a drink. And he was like, oh, okay, I can buy you a drink. And so she was sitting on the outside of this thing we were sitting on. So he actually was sitting next to her. And the whole time when I was drinking, I was looking at the stage, so that she can talk to him because I didn't like him like that. But again, that's the girl code. Like I'm not gonna take a drink from the guy who she likes, who she said he's cute. Yeah. Not that she likes him, but again, that's the girl code. I could have just taken the drink and be like, I'm just gonna take the drink. No, because that would have told him, come talk to me, right?
Exactly.
But I said no. But when he came over, I said, you could buy us both a drink, and then I said, oh, her name is, and told her name, and then, and I just turned around and I wanted to hear nothing else he said. And then they started talking, which was great. Again, so important. And many times we would say, oh, it's just a drink. It's not a big deal. No, it is a big deal. Because she said, she liked him, which means that at some point during that night, maybe she was going to talk to him, but she already pointed him out. So once you point him out, he's off limits. And that was the girl.
So young when we had conquered the world, there ain't a thing that I couldn't do.